Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video we're going to look at this positional shot here on the black. Now I think lots of players very quickly get to the point where they can pot this black off the spot. If they've got nothing else to think about and all they've got to do is pot the ball, then that is not too bad. What then starts to stop a player is when you think, okay, I need to pot this black and I need to precisely get my white positioned on the next ball. So in this video we're going to break it down into some bite-sized pieces so you get a better feel for controlling the white ball. Okay, so what you want to do here is make a mark on the table so that you've got a consistent point to play the shot from each time, so you can put the white back on that mark. Now, as I say, I think what happens to a snooker player is we've got two things to worry about here. We've got to pot the black and we've also got to position the white on the next ball. Now, I think if a player has just got to worry about, okay, I'll pot this black and I'm not worried too much where the white ball is going and what's happening to the cue ball, then I'll get to a point where they can pot that ball quite well. What then starts to happen, if I just get another red out here and place it on the black spot, as soon as you then get a player to start multitasking, so you've got to think of the pot and the position, you might get things like this happening where you feel like a player will maybe miss the pot, but then start to get the white quite close to where they need it to be. Or then you might find that they then go back to, okay, I'll put more concentration on getting the pot again. So then they go, okay, I'll put my concentration back on getting the pot, but then they find that the cue ball is not positioned exactly on the red where it needs to be. So let's break this down into bite-sized pieces so you get a better feel for how to approach this learning part of your positional play. So let's pick a consistent point to strike on the white. So for all of these shots, I'm going to play right at the top of the cue ball, maximum topspin. And I'm then going to work up in stages with my power. So I don't care where the white ball is going. I'm going to completely ignore that. I'm just going to pick the top of the white to hit, and then we're going to change the power. So we're going to start at 1 power. Now, in this video, what I'm calling a 1 power is just enough power for the black to just about reach that corner pocket and go into the pocket. So I've got to now pick my line of my shot here, go down into my shot, pick the, okay, I'm aiming at the top of the white, so I'm going maximum topspin, and then I'm going to now execute just what I think, so it all looks lined up, it all feels good. So now I'm going to play what I think is a 1 power. So just that kind of, just the black going into the pocket. So that would be my first shot. I've got some data to work with now. I've said, okay, I'm hitting top of the white, 1 power, and that's where the cue ball has gone. Let's play it at a 2 power. Okay, so number 2 power. So let's go down to the shot, top of the white ball again. Make sure all my aiming feels good and it feels good. So what I think is a 2. So I've hit it a little bit harder this time. The black has gone in a bit more comfortably, but I'm still not on the red. So everything the same again. We don't want to introduce too many variables. So I've aimed all my shot. It all feels good. Top of the white, number 3 power. So let's hit it a bit firmer. So we're getting close now. So the white has bounced off and it's a little bit low on the red, but we're nearly there. So we were nearly there on that last shot. So let's play number 4 power. So line everything up. So it's only the pot I'm interested in, not what the white's doing. All I'm now doing is executing what I think is a 4 power. So I've executed that 4 power. And now this time we've got a shot on the red. It's gone a little bit further than the circle, but I'm starting to get a feel for what is happening with that shot. So now we know that obviously when you're playing that 4 power, you've got to allow yourself that little bit of margin for error. So let's have a look. So the more you play, this is when you get touch and feel in snooker. So let's say I'm down on this shot, I'm playing number 4, and that's what I'm aiming for, that number 4. But you can see I've got that little bit of margin for error where I could underhit slightly or I could overhit slightly. That's where you get your touch and feel. The more you play snooker, the closer you'll get to executing an actual 4. Let's say you're Ronnie O'Sullivan. When Ronnie gets down to the shot, he's going to feel like when he's going for a number 4 power on the shot, his margin for error is a lot smaller. He's going to play within much smaller tolerances, and he'll feel like when he plays the shot, he can very accurately get the white to go exactly where he wants all the time. So the more you play these shots with what you think is a 4 power, just concentrate on the pot, the more you'll reduce that margin for error and play in very tight margins. Now, this is another very common key shot. So I'm nicely on the brown and I need to get off the side cushion and towards the blue. This is a shot that players really struggle with because it's actually a stun run through that we're playing off the side cushion. So the speed has got to be absolutely perfect in order to get the white close to where we want it in the little circle there. So this shot requires that we hit very slightly below centre, just a tiny, tiny fraction, half a tick below centre. I'm going to play a bit of left-hand side just so that when the white hits the cushion, it flicks towards the blue. And then we can try our increments with the power so that I can just concentrate on the brown and I'm not worrying what the cue ball is doing over here. So I have to forget that I'm trying to get the white on the blue. And I'm going to go just that little tiny bit below centre and what I think is a 1 power. So that's just enough power for the brown to kind of just reach the pocket. And we can see that, okay, no good. So I need to go a little bit harder. Right, so let's try a number 2 power, see what happens here. So just concentrate on the pot. Don't worry what the white's doing. Number 2. So we're still not there. We've increased the power slightly, but looks like we need more. Right, so same place on the cue ball. Make sure you look at the line here. Make sure you check it when you get down. And then, yeah, same place on the cue ball, number 3 power. So now we're very, very close now. So I think, again, if I go to about a number 4 power, I'm going to be very close. Right, so let's try the shot again. So we're going to about a number 4 power now. Very, very fractional below centre. Hardly anything. Touch of left. Off the cushion. And now we're right down into the circle and we've got a nice shot on that blue. Now, just remember that obviously when I'm doing those power scales, what my brain thinks of as a number 4 power, I'll be able to execute that within a small margin for error. So if I make a small mistake and I'm a bit hard or soft, I'm still within a tight margin. When you're first learning these things, you'll still be playing within a little bit more of a bigger margin. And the more you practice it, the tighter and tighter that positional play will get, and you'll start to execute those shots much more accurately. Now, this last shot is another great one for judging your pace on your positional shots. Now, I'm going to hit the cue ball here right in the centre to make the cue ball roll forward. So I want to pop the pink, leave a shot on that black. So there's no need to play any extra topspin. The white will naturally just roll forward if I hit it in the centre. So the first one we're going to play is 0 on the white, nice and soft. So 1 power. So that should be just enough for the pink to reach. But that's not going to be any good on the black. Okay, so same shot. I'm going to have another go here and increase the power now. So I'm going to a 2 power. So about a 2. So it's a bit firmer. And you can see that the white is still not far enough onto that black. Okay, so now we're going to try a number 3 power. So let's see what we think. So increasing the power a bit. And that time, yeah, the white is right on the edge of the circle. I'd be very happy with that. Let's play one more at what I think is a number 3 power. Okay, so I'm on the pink again. Let's go for that number 3 power. So concentrate on the pink, number 3, and let it just roll forward. So I think, yeah, number 3 is pretty good. I could even, in my mind, go to what I think is a 4, but that's going to leave me a nice shot on the black there. So I'm just going to try one more bonus shot with number 4 power. Let's have a look. So let it go through. And yeah, a bit more speed. And yeah, it got stuck on the circle a bit, but that was better. Number 4 power got me exactly where I needed to be on the black. Now, hopefully this video was useful so that instead of thinking that all these complicated things to think about when we're down on the shot, you can break it down into those manageable sections. Because I think at first, if you're trying to get the pot and then you start worrying about the white, before you know it, the white might be in a good position and you miss the pot. And then the other one is you concentrate a lot on the pot and then you might not get the white into position. So I think it's much better to break it down into just thinking, I'm potting the ball with this top and this speed and just let the white naturally do what it's going to do. And by thinking about it like that, I think you're going to have a lot more success learning your positional shots. Now, as always, if you did enjoy this video, remember to give it a like. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. That just really helps me to keep all this content coming regularly. For anyone that's interested in any personal one-to-one training sessions, I'm working on this very table, helping players of all abilities to improve their game all the time. So if you're interested in a session, have a look in the description box below. My contact details are there. Get in touch and I'd love to help you with your game. And as I always say, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.